Good morning and happy Valentine's Day to you all. Thank you for joining me this morning. I hope all is well with you and those who you love and those who you are in love with. Okay, let me start by thanking youngest sibling for being here. Nisi, Nisi, the budget Nista here. Nisi, I want to know if you do couponing. What is this budget Nista thing about? I want to find out more about that. Chorio lover, welcome. So glad you're here. Trey, thanks for being here. Sunshine, hello. Cheryl Burnett, hello. Grown Folks TV, welcome. Camp Me, welcome. Random Crafting Gamers, Tiffany Black, how you doing? UNC Girls Bad Weed Girl, what you doing up this early? Rare Treasure, good morning, UNC Girl. I spoke to Camp Me, Sheba Pisces Love. Hello. Okay, let's get started with what I wanted to talk about today. Today is Valentine's Day, and many of you may not be aware of the Courtney Mallery case. We've seen people go to jail here on YouTube, and a lot of us are, we have our attention on, court cases that are going on around YouTube, people who are going to jail here at YouTube or having serious court cases here on YouTube. So, today on Valentine's Day, court is not stopping. And I wanted to discuss, where is our focus on today? Is our focus on cases such as Mr. Rob Rat? Unfortunately, the justice system has separated him from the love of his life, Mustard Puss. Or then we also have another lover someone brought to my attention late last night after I set up this live. We have Miss J. Dunn, who is also, I think someone said she's also facing court this morning. So we have these people who seemingly were told better on all occasions, but unfortunately, here it is today on the Day of Lovers that they have court cases. Hey, Keisha Bishop, how are you? Hey, Very Carey, nice to see you. Right to be told, good morning. She Power Forward, Demetrius, good morning. Okay, so we have these different people who have court cases today. And as we all know, that Rob Reck is I really believe that he's dual diagnosed personally. And I do think he has a addiction problem. I don't think he's self-medicating, because I don't think that he realized that he needs to be medicated, because he has stated that he was not taking his medication. So either he's slow, or for some reason he doesn't think that he needs to be medicated, but that's neither here nor there. Rob is obviously slow, and it should be a crime against humanity to let two slow people live on their own and mate and flew themselves out to mate with another slow individual. But I digress. Okay, but then I want to know how many people know about this case right here of Emery Lowry. Okay, Emery Lowry is from Texas. He bought some property in Colorado, 30 miles from Colorado Springs. And he would 1,000 acres of land. And I don't know if you guys have been impacted by all of these types of food shortages that are going on. The grocery stores saying they don't have canned goods at one time, only for the grocery prices to raise. And once the grocery prices are maxed out, you notice that the shelves are full of food now, because they're getting you to pay a higher price for food. Now, I don't know if this stripping of the shelves is because of people feeling like they need to hoard, like they were hoarding toilet paper during the pandemic, but I definitely know that the shelves are really full now, and right before the price raise of groceries, the shelves were empty. Okay, so how many of you ever thought about your food security and the manipulation of your food? Because basically, black farmers, my one of my grandfathers was a farmer, and I know that black farmers are least likely to get a USDA loan to buy equipment, to buy seeds, to buy everything they need to um to get their crops out. The United States has been legendary of tearing up their paperwork, dumping their paperwork straight in the trash, miscommunicating information to black farmers where they don't get the information to fill out paperwork by the deadline and all these types of things. So we have Courtney right here, who he's a 41, 42-year old man. He and his wife bought 1,000 acres of great farmland, and his farm animals have been killed, his dogs poisoned. I mean, they killed his farm animals in such real brutal ways, and this land is in between a swath of land that is all white farmers. So he just want to go out there. He wanted to change the pace. He bought some farmland, and he has been harassed by his white neighbors, and they have an adjoining road, he and his neighbor, that they must use to access their property. He and his wife have been driven off the access road, had guns pointed at them. They have videotapes of people coming right on his property, holding guns out on him. He has had I don't know why people always say the N word, because he didn't have the N word straight on his property. He had the word nigger sprayed on his property numerous of times. And so he's called the police out, and the police admit that they've been called out over 170 times. There have been 19 sheriff's investigations where the outcome has not been stated, but obviously the outcome found that nothing was done wrong. But this man has a complaint that 2 sheriff deputies are in on the harassment of him. So what is more important right now? What case will you guys be watching? Courtney was arrested. His story got a little national notice, and he had 10 people come out to his land. They would tear his fencing down, and if that's very important, if you're a farmer, to have your fencing up all around your land, because your animals will get lost, and that's big money if your animals get off. So he had 10 people come out to help him put fencing up on his land. And then he had put security cameras up. They would aim drones at his security cameras that disabled the security cameras. And just all types of horrible things are going on with this farmer. And so he and 10 people were out fixing their fences, mending their fences, and the cops were called on him, and he was arrested. There have been restraining orders requests back and forth between he and the next door neighbor. He was arrested for felony stalking while he was on his own property fixing his fence. It was video recorded by his wife, and now today he's going to court on these felony stalking charges. Now I'm gonna see what you guys are saying about this. Hey, Liz. This is in Colorado, 30 miles from Colorado Springs. Yes. Heck yeah. It's big money. Yes, it is big money. It's farming. I don't know if you guys know, to buy farming equipment is very, very expensive. First of all, can you imagine how much it is to buy a tractor, and how much it is to update your farm? A lot of this stuff is, you don't have people working, you have limited people working. So if you guys have ever taken a car trip and you've seen those watering systems that just walk acres and acres of land, watering your crops and all this type of stuff. See, white farmers are able to get these FDA loans approved quickly and fastly, harvest their crops, these silos that they keep their food in. These things are very expensive. And so they're able to get these loans, harvest their crops, and pay back their loans, where they'll lend a black farmer the money, but they'll wait until the last minute and tell you, oh, there's only a little bit of money left over for you, or it's so close to or beyond the time where it's good for you to plant your crops that you're not going to yield a good crop anyway. So therefore, you won't be able to pay this FDA loan back. And since the 1930s, in the 1930s, the U.S. had 15% black farmers, and now the U.S. has under 1.5% black farmers. So I just really, I just really want to know, um, do we get how many people have heard of this? First of all, if you've heard of this, please put a one in the chat. If you guys have heard of this story, and I want to thank Miss Pizarro, because I was over at Pizarro's and there was a young lady and talking about this, and it made me look this story up because I hadn't even heard of this story, and it really kind of made me feel some kind of way because I know how hard and expensive it is to be a farmer. So I'm going to go down and I'm going to see what you guys are saying, first of all, and then I'm going to play something for you. Good morning, Tiffany, UNC girl. What are you talking about? I'm working, Ronnie Q. I'm in and out. Okay. You're working. Well, at least you're not screwing your man. You're in and out. At least you're being productive. Rare treasures. Good morning. Hey, Allie in Wonderland. How are you doing? Happy Valentine's Day to you, Queen Pork Chop. Okay, let me go further down. I'm way behind in the chat, obviously. And for all of you guys who are joining me today, welcome. Thank you for joining me. Kind to me, Miss Cruiser. Miss Cruiser, you know a little bit about farming and those things like that. Let me pin the link up here if anybody wants to come up here and have this discussion with me as well. Because, excuse me, one second. See, I'm trying some new things, and let's hope it works. I've never pinned the comment. Good morning, Duchess Kelly Love. Speaking of farm animals, here come this old mule, Duchess Kelly Love. What's up, Duchess? Okay, let me see if I can pin this comment. Let me try something new. I heard some things about pinning a comment. And no, I just let myself on. I didn't want to do that. Well, let me try one more time. Pin message. There it is. Okay. So I have pinned the link. And if anybody want to come up and join me in this conversation, you're more than welcome to. Okay. So let me see what you guys are talking about. I wonder if the man knew anything about the previous owners and if they had trouble with the neighbors. It did not give any information about that, but that is an interesting question. And also, they were planning to do a march on the capital of the city, but the county. I'm sorry, but they're going to wait until they find out what happens with his court case today. The NAACP is definitely on this case, and they're trying to track down. They're trying to get it more traction and everything, but they are also trying to get him some attorneys to work the case. There's a GoFundMe for this man to purchase advanced security cameras that cannot be jammed, and to put up stronger fencing around his whole property and for attorney fees. And if you want to see the GoFundMe and get better details about what's going on, you can go to my community wall. I do have information about this GoFundMe and the GoFundMe page on my community wall, a link to the GoFundMe page on my community wall. So, what else are you guys? Hey, Liz, how you doing? Hey, viewers of you, welcome. I'm glad to see you. Okay, the previous owners are probably right too. That could be so. Okay, you guys don't have much. I wonder if the previous owners are white. Maybe I need to scroll up. Hey, kind to me, how are you? Hey, Voodoo, what's going on with you? Happy Valentine's Day to all of you. Okay, you guys don't have much to say about that topic. Okay, I seen the elaborate water system and use the stare in amazement, wondering how they work and so forth. I'll be doing a little research into it today. Thanks for the stimulation, Ronnie Q. Yes, and if you are unable to purchase these advanced equipment, you're unable to keep up. It's just like trying to turn in a dissertation written by hand as opposed to using a computer. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you it's just you'll be so far behind and your farm won't grow. You won't earn money. You won't be able to pay back the FDA loan that was given to you late, and therefore what happens? You'll lose your property. So this is the thing that is concerning, that he is concerned that they're trying to set him up to lose his property. And like I said, in the United States, 15% of farmers were black farmers in the 1930s, but now here it is right now, they're less than 1.5% black farmers, and most of these farmers have lost their property. And see, that's the thing. I was talking about generational wealth being stolen from homeowners, where appraisers would come in and appraise your home for way less than it's worth. But then you also have people who are really taking your land and just stealing it right from under you. And we should also really be concerned about the fact that Bill Gates, a multi-billionaire, is going around the United States and the world buying up all of this land. We should also be aware that Bill Gates is that Montecito that Montecito Corporation, where they make seeds for farmers that you must buy every year, because none of your fruits self-seed anymore. There are laws against how you can plant seeds. I remember when my grandmother used to farm. She had a garden. She called it a garden, but it was huge. It was like an acre of land, huge, grew everything. And one thing she used to use is her old seeds from the things that she grew. So there's no such thing as doing that anymore, because none of your fruits or none of your vegetables are seeding. So therefore, you must now go to a corporation and buy these treated seeds that are treated. So, while we look at, it kind of loses. A lot of people are lost on the fact that our food is being manipulated. They have this fake meat out here. Our food is being highly manipulated. And a lot of us don't know how. There are a lot of agencies and groups and everything that are teaching black farmers how to farm, teaching people who are interested how to farm, the things about farming. Because if it's one thing that is very important to us and that will be the death of us, it is going to be how will we sustain ourselves in hard times. There has been a lot of talk about this new world order. Like I say, in Australia during the virus, the prime minister discussed a new world order. The WHO, the World Health Organization, also for the first time spoke about a new world order. And I just wanted to know, are we like sleeping on what's really going on around us that's important? This man is going to court, and then we have Rob Rack, who's going to court. We're very aware about Rob Rack, his court date, what he did, and you have so much commentary about, oh, who called the police on him? Oh, it was this person's fault. You're wrong for that. You're wrong for that. You're wrong for that. It's like so many people talking about things that will never affect you and how you live your life, as if it's something of so importance. Rob Rack was a reckless drunk. A lot of reckless drunks get arrested, so it doesn't matter who called on him. Maybe he'll get the help that he needs and go on. But what's going to happen to you, regardless of what happens to Rob Rack? Uh, okay, so those are the things that I really wanted to talk about today, and I just want to play. I'm gonna play a little clip for you guys, and which will explain what I'm talking about. We're far more better than I. I just want to play something real quickly for you guys. Um, my one second. I gotta get past the commercial. Okay, so I may not be monetized for this because I'm gonna play this, and so if you want to hit my Cash App, feel free to hit my Cash App, because I don't know how mm, I don't know how this is gonna work with playing this person's stuff, but I just feel it's important that I play this, and it helps better explain. Let me share my screen. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm gonna leave the banner up while I play this. So here we go. But let me put another banner up instead. Let me put this banner up. This is for fair use, for educational purposes. So, oh, I don't know what happened last night. I had all my little files in order to do this show and everything. When I got up, all my all my overlays were gone, everything. And now, unfortunately, I don't have my fair use banner. But if one of you guys, and one of the mods, Carrie, if you can put up the fair use thing, we're using this as part of the Fair Use Act, for educational purpose, commentary, and all that stuff. So here we go. I'm going to play this for you guys right now. Let me know if you can hear it.
That Joe Biden signed into law earlier this year. $1.9 trillion relief bill that Joe Biden signed into law earlier this year had money for everything, from COVID vaccines to stimulus checks to a year subscription to Biden's OnlyFans. And it also gave $4 billion in loan forgiveness to Black farmers.
Okay, can you guys hear that? Can you guys put a one in the chat if you're able to hear that? Because I have a problem of playing things, and then I find out that you guys can't hear it. Put a one in the chat if you're able to hear that. It's low? Okay. It's really low though. Okay. Hmm.
which it turns out not everyone is happy about.
Joe Biden sent billions of dollars to African-American farmers in this country purely because of how they look. Now, that's illegal, it's immoral, it's completely divisive.
It's not a bill for Black farmers, it's a bill against white farmers.
I don't think they understand our business one bit. Nobody asks you what race you are when you price fertilizer.
White farmers need not apply by virtue of the color of their skin. The Democratic Party is becoming the party of reverse racism.
Farmers are being denied aid solely because of their skin color.
Okay, so if you look, these people are saying that the farm relief that Joe Biden gave to Black farmers who have historically been discriminated against because of the color of their skin. There was one farmer who was actually spit on when he went in to turn in his papers for a farm loan, and they know this has been going on throughout centuries. But once they get some relief, this is what white farmers are saying, that nobody when you buy fertilizer, nobody cares what the color of your skin is. Yeah, but when you go get your farm loan to do your crops so you can earn some money and earn a living, they care what color your skin is. So let me go further.
In this country, you do not punish people because they look a certain way, because their ancestors come from a certain place. Because if the government has the power to destroy a business because of how someone looks, what's next? Put someone in jail because of how they look?
Okay, so put someone in jail because of how they look. So let's go on. Courtney Vance is in court today on a felony charge for fixing his fence on his own property, and all the 174 times that he's called about being racially intimidated with people coming on his property with guns, tearing down his fences, following him, stealing his well water, killing his animals, writing nigger on his property. Oh my God, the hypocrisy.
I mean, what if they make it illegal to look like a testicle that just escaped the scrotum, just as an example?
But it isn't just Fox News gargoyles who are upset about this aid to Black farmers. Last week, a federal judge blocked the aid from going into effect, while a lawsuit from white farmers proceeds through the court system. And you might be hearing this story for the first time and wondering, wait, why should Black farmers get special treatment? Are their cows the ones that make chocolate milk? Well, yes, but that's not why. The real reason is something we're going to explore in another edition of If You Don't Know, Now You Know.
Plates.
When you picture a farmer in your head, what do you see? Close your eyes and think about it. Oh, yeah. Probably a guy in overalls standing next to a tractor, chewing on a piece of hay, or vaping it if he's trying to quit. And let's be honest. Oh, you can open your eyes now. Let's be honest. That farmer in your head is also probably a white guy. But you may be surprised to learn that there was a time in America when farming was as popular among Black people as Telfa bags.
By force and by choice, Black people have long, deep connections to American farmland. After the fall of slavery, owning a piece of land that could be worked and farmed symbolized freedom.
During Reconstruction, Black folks saved their money. They worked together as a family, as a cooperative, and they bought land that allowed Black families to build communities up to 16 million acres.
At the peak of Black farm ownership around 1920, maybe about 15% of farmers were African American.
In a place where you could not vote, one way that Black folks were able to exert power was having some control over the land under their feet.
That's right. Back in the day, 15% of all American farmers were Black. And that's the kind of representation the Golden Globes can only dream of. And yes, it is true that there weren't a lot of other professions in the 1920s. You know, back then it was basically just farming, telegraph operator, and crash landing airplanes. But it makes sense that farming would be especially appealing to Black people, because owning anything was incredible for Black people back then. Because don't forget, just a generation before that, black people were considered property. Property. I mean, imagine if your granddad was a TV and now you own a whole TV company. That's success. So if there were so many black farmers back in the day, what happened to them all? Did somebody finally tell them about sports? No, it turns out it was America's age-old friend, systemic racism.
White folks recognized pretty early on that one way to stop the civil rights movement, one way to undercut it, was to get rid of land ownership.
Over the last century, America's black farmers have lost more than 90% of their land because of systemic discrimination and a cycle of debt.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture has a long history of discrimination. A study commissioned by the USDA found that loans to black male farmers were 25% lower than those given to white male farmers on average.
For decades, the U.S. Department of Agriculture systematically favored white farmers by denying loans to black farmers. And discrimination was widespread at its local branches, which were largely run by all-white county committees.
Many black farmers would come into the office and the local official would say, we don't have any money available. And when white farmers came in, they would process their loans less than 30 days. And for black farmers, it took 387 days on average.
We'd fill out the papers, and then they would just take the paperwork and just throw it in the trash.
Without the same access to funds, black farmers struggle to keep up with their white competitors and are often forced out of business.
We're talking $177 to $230 billion that black farmers have lost because of active discrimination.
That's right. For decades, the USDA actively discriminated against black farmers, giving them smaller loans than white farmers, or outright refusing to give them loans altogether. And that's according to the USDA. So, I mean, that's like digging up your own tweets and canceling yourself. Yeah, go away, me. But that's how bad this discrimination was. And farming is hard enough on its own. I mean, think about it. You got pests, you got droughts, you got ghosts trying to get you to build a baseball field. The last thing you need is for the federal government to be up against you. And after decades of discrimination, black farmers had had enough. And so they took their complaints right to the top.
Black farmers first picketed the Department of Agriculture in 1996. About 50 showed up with a pair of mules and a wagon to protest racial discrimination. Thousands had sent in complaints, but they found the Civil Rights Office at the USDA had been closed for years, and boxes of their letters remained unopened.
In 1999, thousands of black farmers settled a historic class action discrimination lawsuit against the USDA in a landmark case called Pigford versus Glickman. The government agreed to pay out more than $1 billion, with thousands of black farmers receiving up to $50,000 each.
The vast majority never received a dime from the federal government. An overwhelming number of farmers were dubbed late filers by USDA when their applications trickled into office inboxes after a 180-day deadline. Tens of thousands of black farmers claim they did not receive proper notification of the settlement.
For so many of them, it's been red tape and setbacks ever since. 11 years of splitting time between the fields and Capitol Hill, staging protests, even riding tractors through downtown D.C. to get attention from Congress.
Okay, now this is how you protest. Riding tractors and mules into downtown D.C., not only are you bringing attention to your cause, but riding a mule is the one time a cop can't pull you over for a busted taillights. And they had to take some extreme measures. Because if anyone knows bullshit, it's farmers. And this was definitely some bullshit. I mean, the government basically admitted that it owed the farmers money, but then bogged them down in red tape. Let me tell you something, man. If you lose a lawsuit, the hearing should end with the bailiff marching you to the ATM to watch you withdraw that money. Oh, whoopsie. Looks like I forgot my pen. Oh, well. It's your birthday backwards, man. Just do it. Now, the government tried to fix things in 2011 by providing some more funding to black farmers. But unfortunately, it came too late for many of them, and it still fell far short of the economic losses that they had suffered at the hands of the USDA. So the next time you hear people talking about how black farmers are getting extra special treatment from the government, think about the treatment that they've been getting for the last 100 years. And you know, some of the people who are upset about this loan forgiveness, they might not even know that all this discrimination even happened. which I understand. And that's why we've decided to update the most famous song about farmers to better express the black farming experience.
Old Black Donald had a farm.
Okay. So that's all I wanted to show about that. So like this has been going on. This has really been systemic, and I just wanted to discuss this topic with you guys today because a lot of people just like are really unaware that how people always want to say, oh well, it used to be like that back then, it used to be like that back then. But if you are unable to own your property, if you win a lawsuit and they do not pay out, like where have you ever heard of this from? Where? You know, the United States of America is really, really something else. And then you look at all of there has been a big push to ban different foreign companies from coming over here and buying farmland, and they're saying it's a matter of public safety and basically a security problem, because if you have governments like China coming over here buying large patches of farmland and everything, they can totally just stop farming. There can be rash food shortages here in America, and that would be a way that for the Chinese government, to get a foothold and really control the food supply here in the United States. So I have an article which states that 29 states just banned foreign governments and different foreign entities from coming over here and purchasing land as well. And there's another big thing. There's another article about as far as your food. I don't know if a lot of you know that Smithfield Foods is the world's largest pork producer. And I know a lot of you guys don't eat pork, but just hear me out. And it was acquired by a Chinese firm in 2013 for nearly $5 billion, more than the company's market value. A Chinese corporation paid over 30% more than what this company was valued at. And the CEO who sold it to the Chinese said, "Well, I don't know that they're related to the Chinese government, and we don't know this." And all it took was a little due diligence from this reporter, and he went and he found out that yes, it is directly related to the Chinese government. The loan for the $5 billion that the Chinese spent on this corporation was approved in one day. And the bank has also made a statement that they were happy to be hand in hand with the Chinese government to acquire this Smith Food pork produce plant. So I can't be concerned with Rob Rack at this time for these reasons. I can't. What do you guys think about this? I mean, like like if you start reading different things about your food supply, I mean, you go down a rabbit hole that is kind of really, really deep. That's a shame. I didn't even know you can't buy direct until my white coworker was telling me she does. Institutionalized discrimination. Yes, it is. Okay, and I'm going to drop the GoFundMe information for this farmer, Courtney Mallery, and his wife. I'm going to drop their link in the chat for you guys if you're interested in, dropping it in somebody's draws. Maybe you want to drop a little something in their draws. So, here it is right here. There you go. Okay. Let me see what you say. The Chinese have the money. That's how they The Chinese have the money. That's how they accumulate so much in the US. They offer above the market prices and win those bids every time. Exactly. And these 29 states that have a ban where they can't buy land. They're not talking about property. They're talking about land. So let's be clear. So we also know that they're giving in the United States, they're giving tax breaks and stuff on the things that they buy over here. But the United States can't give their own citizens things to thrive over here. I mean, it's all about the dollar. Okay, I think the link is pinned. If anybody want to come up and add your 2 cents to the conversation, you're more than welcome. Because I just kind of want to just put this information out here for you guys and see what you guys thought about it. Okay, so these companies are also buying up homes. Yes, they are buying up homes in the United States. In this type market, there are corporations and hedge funds that are buying up new builds of property, not just a home or 4 or 5 in a new subdivision that is being built, a new uh community of new homes. They're buying up the all of these homes. And there was actually a CEO over this company that buys up these homes, brand new builds. We're not talking about old builds. We're talking about brand new builds. They're buying up the whole community, and they're saying that United States people maybe need to look at the American dream a little bit different now, as opposed to the American dream being owning a house with a picket fence. Maybe Americans need to get used to looking at the American dream as of renting a house with a picket fence. This is what this person said. This is what this person said. So I can't worry about Rob Rack. Rob Rack was warned. J Don, J Don was told to take these pictures down, but she didn't listen. So these things are happening, and I think the bigger picture is not being reported on here. And I just really want to thank Pizarro, and I forget the young lady who was on her channel, but for bringing up this information. Yes, please hit the like button. The American dream has never been for Black people, in my opinion. Yes, but Black people, it has never been for us, but see, Black people were able to obtain it nonetheless. And if we look at, my father worked his same job before I was born up until retirement. The same job. The job that afforded us a nice middle class family, our own. They had their own home, 2 cars in the garage, in the suburbs, everything. And the average American worker right now is estimated to have to work between 12 and 17 jobs in their lifetime. That's the estimate. When you used to be able to work one job for 30 and 40 years. See, we have to look at things that are really going on with us. All these gig jobs with no insurance, no benefits, and all this stuff. They do have benefits, but it's only benefiting the CEO, these lobbyists who go to Congress to say, hey, do this for us. We need to save money. And then when it comes time to give back to the American people, they tell you, oh, well, we can't afford it because if we do that, you're going to be paying $17 for a burger. If we pay people a living wage, well, no. The only reason everything goes up is because corporate greed. Okay, don't worry about me. I found another love in jail, Ronnie. Okay, Rob, I'm so glad you're happy. Happy Valentine's Day, Wob Wacky. I am so happy for you. There's a push towards less ownership, more dependence on shared resources, cars, bikes, homes. Are you guys inner city turning smarter? Less lanes to drive, more bikes, etc. You know, that's that may work out for people who live in big cities, but a lot of people don't live in big cities. In a lot of people, you know, I'm a California girl, and I lived in the suburbs of Los Angeles, and I shit, uh, they were bike friendly 20 years ago. You know, all have bike lanes everywhere, everywhere. I've gone to other cities where they don't even have shoulders on the road. And these are like some and I'm like, how do you build a place with all this shopping, all this everything, and you don't even have a sidewalk? There's no sidewalks, there's no crosswalks, but it's all of this development, but there is not even a sidewalk, so you must drive. It's unwalkable, unbike rideable, and all this type of stuff. So you know, if you live in a big city, a lot of times you take things for granted. And I'm not talking about no hick towns. I'm talking about towns that don't even think to put sidewalks down for you to be able to walk to different stores. So it's a lot goes into it. Um, Agriculture is the spine of America, and unfortunately is also the most brutal business to be in. Agriculture is very dangerous. Very dangerous. Yes, you're right. I heard them talking about subscription-based services for housing. What? I haven't heard about that. That's right, D Dot. Okay, what else are you saying? Okay. Okay, well, I just want to run over these topics. Let me see. The American dream has never. Okay, I read that. China is only famous for cheap labor and bootleg plastic foods, and I wouldn't be surprised if a Chinese CC bootleg Ronnie's Q's name. Okay. I'm gonna make them pay a big price if they want to buy my name. Cause see, I know that's gonna be my nest egg. See, I'm not gonna sell short. But then you in a lot of instances, like when they do this gentrification of different properties in cities and things like that, you know, it's like too much for them to offer it to a someone who could marginally afforded who lives in the area, who works in the area, who has connection and ties to the area. No, they won't sell it. They won't sell it to you, but they'll sell it to other entities and stuff because they want you out of there. So you know, it's not like anybody's looking to, you know, really improve a black community for black people, or a downtrodden community for the people who live there. No, when they go through and gentrify someplace, the whole goal is to get the people who are inhabiting that place out, moved out. I remember there was a big push. There's a you guys from California know when they start building all these homes out in Palmdale. Palmdale is like, oh God, from Los Angeles, Palmdale is like it's like in the desert. It's in the High Valley Desert, and they were building all these homes out there for dirt cheap prices, 4 and 5 bedroom houses. Back then, you could get them for like $120,000, and a lot of people were like moving out there. But the trek to get back to the city was so long and stuff that a lot of people got sick of it. And now that they have come back into Los Angeles, they have gentrified Leimert Park, Baldwin Hills, the Crenshaw District, all these areas. The people are now being shipped out to Palmdale and Lancaster and all these places, which used to be nice places. So they not only are they getting you out of the city, they're getting you way out of the city. So it's nobody will. It's like no. nobody's looking for a solution. People are just looking for money, and now it's more um, attractive to live in the city. That's why with the high cost of rents and all this stuff going on. I'm just wondering how long can it be sustained. But anyway, I'm off on a tangent. I didn't want to talk about all of this. None of this is new. Exporting jobs, relying on outside resources, undermining our own ability to become self sufficient, then years later, wondering why food prices are rising. Exactly. Oh, that's good, Trey. Ronnie Q, post your email. I don't see it. Trey won't be able to post a link you can see. Okay. Okay. There you go. Hello, Michael. Welcome. Thank you, Trey. He's gonna send me the listing about subscription housing. Yeah, it is just like really crazy out here. So these are the things that I kind of wanted to talk about as far as what's really going on in the United States of America, and why should we really be worried about these insignificant things that are going on the YouTube streets, because there is a lot of other stuff that is really going on that is really affecting you and how you live your life at this time. So, with that, I don't have anything else that I want to share with you guys today. It doesn't seem like anyone wants to come up and converse with me. So I guess I'm going to call it a day. And I just thank you guys for coming out and listen to me rant and go off topic and all this type of stuff. There's a good fish place in Mobile. I ain't been there in a minute. The 60s is terrible. What are you talking about? The 60s? The hood? The 60s? What are you talking about? I know you like to sneak around and go to little spots in LA and Watts and stuff. I heard you talk about them tacos at that spot in Watts. So I think that, oh, Moreno Valley, Moval. Okay. Yeah, Moreno Valley and San Bernardino. That's another place that is outside. That's like 50 some miles out, 50 to 60 miles outside of Los Angeles, where a lot of people who have been displaced by gentrification have also moved. They also had a big uh a big rise in new homes and stuff. I used to work with people who, like, if I'm not on the freeway by 2:45, I am screwed, who lived out in Riverside and things like that. So yeah, a lot of people make a lot of sacrifices to have to make a lot of sacrifices to have the American dream. They don't work in the community that they live in. But like people, of my generation didn't have it as easy as my parents' generation, is my point. And now it seems like the generation behind us will not even have a chance at this American dream that we were told to aspire to. So you know, you have a person who's out here doing the right thing, and he still is arrested for being on his own property after 173 complaints to the police department, which investigated itself and found that they have done nothing wrong. And he will be in court on trial today. I wonder if Troy is going to cover that trial, or is it's gonna cover. It's not a trial; it's a hearing. I wonder if Troy is going to cover that hearing, or is he going to cover the Rob Rack hearing? Okay, one, if Troy is going to cover Rob, or two, if he's going to cover this Mallery hearing. No, don't even bother. Don't waste your fingertips. My dad comes from his father who was the farmer. Yes. So my dad was a hard worker all the time. And another thing is that, like, when we used to go visit our grandparents in the South, and it was like amazing how early, like, my grandfather would get up, and all the hogs, all the chickens, all everything would be fed, and they had a large number of acres and stuff. And we used to go out there, and we were like Will Robinson and the Swiss Family Robinson, and we're gonna build this and we're gonna build that. And they had that red clay ground and everything. And we were just out there like we're on adventures, and we're on safaris and stuff on their land and stuff. They had lakes on their land and the whole 9 yards. And then, my grandfather would blow. You hear my grandfather doing a yell. It was a specific yell for my cousin who also lived out there, and that was how they would locate each other on the land. They would, do their little yodel, and then you get closer and you walk in the direction of where they are. And my grandfather would be sitting in the watermelon patch that he's growing watermelons, and he'd take his knife out and he'd cut a watermelon, and we eat those nice watermelons, right there on our own land and things like that. Like things like that you can't get back. And my father and my uncles used to go down there at a certain time. We used to take the family trip, and it was always scheduled around a certain time. And I didn't know this until I was an adult. But like my father and them, they grew up on the farm. They know how to do the farm and stuff, but it was always a certain time of year that they used to go down, and everybody would go down. All my uncles would go down, and it was potato harvesting time because they had to. And all the times that we go down there throughout any other time, my father and them, they wasn't going out in no field and doing anything. But potato harvesting time, my father and them would be out there in the field. And then after, like, they'd be like working for like 4 or 5 days straight. And then it was a big party. Come to find out, as an adult, potato harvesting time is so important because my father and his brother were the biggest moonshiners in that county, and they had to harvest the potatoes, make the hooch, get paid, and then it was party time. So that's like some of the some of the stuff that's lost. And I look at now seeing shows, different TV shows on Food Network and other cooking networks, where they're following these white families, and they have this homemade liquor on shelves and things like that. And it was such a big secret, and it was so frowned upon, and you couldn't do it, that a lot of it wasn't passed on to generations, is my point. That was something that was not passed on to generations because it was such a secret. And they could have really done some serious time behind that. But that's something else that is lost. I mean, I don't think my father, my grandparents were the only ones who you know scratched out a good living for themselves and things like that. Yeah, moonshiners. They were the moonshiners of their day. And so that's all I gotta talk about. But back to the topic at hand. So I just wanted to give you guys the information. I'm gonna drop the link one more time for this GoFundMe account. So if you guys want to go look at it, uh to support this black farmer in his endeavors with Colorado trying to really put him in a bad place, and possibly have him lose his 1,000 acres of land that he worked so hard to buy, and he just want to farm like any other farmer in America. So with that, if you guys don't have anything else to add to the conversation, I really thank you all for coming out and joining me. I just wanted to drop this information. What else? So I need. Okay, I'm gonna send out some reporters, and if you guys get back with me and let me know what you find out about the Jay Dunn case and the Rob Rat case, I'm not gonna go live and talk about it, but I'm pretty sure that you guys gonna be able to find out more about those cases as well. But I just wanted to give you another case that was going on today. Can we donate Bitcoin? Uh, well, I don't know. Go see. Go find out. Go check it out. Get back to me. Get back to me and tell me how that works out. All right. So if that's all that we have, any more discussion, anybody else have anything to say? Can go fund me except Bitcoin. I converted all my money to Bitcoin last year. Okay, good for you. Thank you. Okay. If he typed Bitcoin in here one more time, please block that person. Thank you. All right. So that's it for me. I want to thank you guys for coming out and sharing and listen to me talk about, this case. And, I hope you guys have a great Valentine's Day. That's Elon Musk. Thank everyone for joining me. And please, on your way out, can you please, please, please hit the like button? Can you please share this? And if you are, out and about, you might want to share this story with somebody, if you want to share it on your, thank you, Factavius Prime. Factavius, I have a question for you. Factavius, how is Rob's? I heard that Rob had some content on his backup channel. I don't know what his backup channel is. Hey, Bird, but I was wondering, how is it possible for Rob to be anything to be going on Rob's backup channel when Rob's in jail? So is it true that someone has the account information for Rob and is making content on his channel? See, that's kind of interesting because yeah, that's kind of odd and strange. So let me know if that's true. And also, isn't it criminal to have someone's belonging and they tell you where to return these belongings and you say, oh, I'm only going to do it if he acts nicely? Isn't that what Tracy did the other night right before Rob got arrested? And she was on there talking all this shit. And he's like, send me my shit, bitch. And then she's, oh, I'm only going to do it if he acts nicely. He's not going to act nicely. He has nothing nice to say about you. And then as soon as he get arrested, all of this crying and all these theatrics. And then are you telling me that now she still has his card and all the cash apps are not being seen by him because he has a burner phone and she actually has his phone? She lied and said that the police took his phone. I have a clip of that of her saying, no, the police took his phone. I don't have his phone. And now all of a sudden she does have his phone. Child, speaking of dumb criminals, and we know how dumb Tracy is, and she doesn't have a problem with getting herself put in jail. Yes, it's true. Napa, Sarita Rice, and Janet have control of the Rack Street channel. I don't know who those people are. Napa, Sanita, wife, and Janet. Oh, okay. I've heard of Janet. Okay. Well, thank you for that information. I appreciate that. I didn't know if it was you who had control of it, like you and Tracy have control of his cash apps, allegedly. But thank you for that information. She should have left that hotel. Poor Tink Tink. Okay, and Tracy and Smactavius and MU are in control of Rob Rack channel. Oh, okay. Okay, so that is very interesting. So, okay, now we know. I would have who, yeah, oh, Yeah, okay. Well, that's all I have. Ronnie Q, have a good day and happy Valentine's Day to you as well, Choreo Lover. Okay, I'm going to end on that because I don't want to go down this rabbit hole of ignorance talking about Tracy and Rob Rack. So I thank you all once again for coming out. Please hit the like button on your way out. I really thank you guys for showing up and listening to me talk about these little things that have been going on the YouTube street. And if you have somebody in your life, make sure you give them extra special love on today. All right, you guys have a good day. Bye-bye. Hey, Bless. Thank you, Bless. Good to see you, girl. I like how you moving, Bless.